All right. Hello, everybody in internet world. Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade, Melbourne's Blood and Belief. We're a little bit different tonight, as you may notice. So I'm going to roll into the recap and catch you up with what we're up to. So, previously, it was the second half of the Friday night. Those at the Hounds Haven, Isaac, Jax, Pip and Zane decided to head out and follow the trail that Isaac had borne forth from the magic of the Tremere. Zane ignored calls from his old assistant until Pip's phone was used to call, but both Pip and Zane seemed to be avoiding calls and texts to the best of their abilities. The Tremere magic led them to the graveyard behind the original Elysium, but then past the place of where the prince was seen to perish and down a secret entrance hatch to corridors below the burial site. Echo had her game of chess while this was going on with Van Diemen, watching as he fed from a cat, and then she played aggressively to acquire one of Van Diemen's best pieces, hoping that neither he nor his entourage would notice the minor inconsideration for the rules. Van Diemen pried into the allegiance of Echo, but she didn't give him too much, so he offered terms and fed her some handy information on the scourge that is currently out and about. Echo did eventually win the said chess game, and the two parted ways. Jackson had to leave Isaac, Pip and Zane in the graveyard tunnels right in front of a warding circle as he exited for his meeting with Van Diemen over at the old Pentridge prison. It seemed Jackson and Van Diemen discussed business and trade, and Van Diemen admitted that he didn't have the information Jackson needed currently on hand, but he would get it by Monday, giving him 2.5 nights to do what he does best. Isaac in the tunnels pressed on without Jackson beneath the graveyard, Pip and Zane lagging slightly behind. Isaac decided to push past the magic that he saw and suffered some minor damage because of the beast within him angering and pushing him farther. But unfortunately, that anger of the beast left Isaac blind to some physical fire traps within, and he soon found himself compelled to retreat from the tunnels and rethink his strategy whilst licking some minor wounds. Lastly, we finished with Aaron on his poker run, as he had a couple of places. He'd lost a couple of places, and he'd managed to get a good hand. 4 of a kind, all in 7s, I believe it was. He dismounted at the end of the race, and another biker came towards him, showing his face. It was our friend Tim/Jeremy, as you all seem to call him. Maybe one day you'll learn his real name. But it seems that Aaron is unable to recall anything else from the conversation with him, and you won't know until you meet Aaron again, I suppose. So, friends, tonight is a little different. We find ourselves moving back to the Wednesday night, the same night of the Ocean's Embrace Masquerade Ball. On this night, an additional event was happening. It was transpiring amidst the vast array of political gatherings on all sides, but yet this meeting is just another one underway. We are currently in Docklands, South Wharf, in a place known as Sea Life. There are no tourists or locals, and only the exterior lights are gloomily illuminating the empty car park. All the gates and doors are locked. It is currently well after hours, and it seems the security cameras here are deactivated and the guards are probably working for someone else this evening. Long curved corridors with toughened glass allow a vision of many types of sea creatures inside. They look to be in what seems to be a well-dressed, maybe natural environment for them, and it is here that we see one of the kindred involved in tonight's first meeting. Sarah, can you just give us a re-description of yourself, your attire, and whereabouts you are within the building, thanks?
So, Sarah is in the middle of the building, so, everything's all encased inside one of the tunnel areas where the Sea Life go over the top. And she is dressed in her usual, dark brown garb with brown hair, brown eyes. Pretty much unremarkable, undescriptive. Tonight, she's actually almost completely covered to perhaps hide the injuries she received the night before.
That's fair. Carry on.
Next to her, as she's waiting in this area, next to her are 3 large crates, and she is waiting for someone to come along.
Well, she doesn't have to wait too long. As you, and he is well known for being on time, and as you wait there momentarily, there is notable movement amongst the cold-blooded beings around you as most of the small fish scurry away from the viewing gallery in a hurry. The shadows in the hallways grow darker. The artificial lighting flickers pretty ominously as the cockroaches begin to drop from the vents, crawl from mortar gaps, or drop from lighting supports, and they drop onto each other, building a figure, which eventually forms over 10 seconds-ish, the figure in the pure white suit, the one and the only Anthony Van Diemen. He gestures to you. Licking his lips. Good evening, Sarah. How are things?
Well, a little in a bit of a disarray, I believe. That's why I called this meeting. I would like some information, if I can. And I figure you were the best person to ask this information.
Well, I am the, and he pulls his collar tight, taps his chest, the best and probably the only information broker of my type around these areas. And
I
I
do
do smell.
apologize for my appearance. I did want to dress up, but I thought it was rather imperative that I see you now.
Oh, you look absolutely fine. And he notices the crates next to you and he says, and I do believe that is the scent of something I am going to love.
I hope so. I don't believe well, I can't exactly sell these things. People don't exactly know I have them. But, I figure a man of your taste would probably appreciate them a lot more than myself. I have 3 questions, hence the 3 crates. Perhaps I'll start off with the most mundane that seems a little bit obscure.
Very
and she'll
well.
pull out one of the crates, and in it will be, and she'll open up the front of it, and it will be the portrait of Trude Steiner by Gustav Klimt,
Oh, that is lovely.
which was previously lost during World War II. I would like a bit of information on, well, frankly, some areas on your discovered island, good sir. Particularly around Devonport and Burnie, the SI and their activity there. I'd like a little bit of information about what their standing is there.
Well, you just so happen to be in the presence of someone who knows that island quite well.
Of course.
I visit there regularly, and that's a nice piece that I must have, so therefore I shall give you everything I know. Are the SI in Tasmania at all? No. But you know as well as I do that if they sense anything that might point to any sort of kindred uprising, they can be anywhere in a flash. However, Tasmania in its totality is currently quiet on that front. There are small kindred gathering there. Nothing to point to any sort of information at the FBI or the SI that any of us are going to be causing trouble in that area.
I was thinking if Melbourne gets a bit too hot and I need to abscond, I may have a business proposition for you.
Ah, well, I also may have some buildings for you.
Thank you.
Well, it's such a nice piece you offer. I couldn't just give you a simple answer of no, there's no SI, could I? I would be glad to trade not only this information, but one of those said buildings to you for that piece.
Oh, I rather appreciate that. I think you'll find there's probably a particular theme with these paintings. And she'll open up the next one, and it will be An Angel with Titus Features by Rembrandt van Rijn. Again, another lost painting from World War II and, you know, the whole Nazi, what was it? They called it the arts acquisition.
Well, I do like the look of this as well, and that too I wish to acquire. What is it you would like me to trade for this piece?
I believe I'd like to find out details on why the prince was killed. As I'm sure it's come through the grapevine that you've already found that out.
Well, a couple of things here. The first, and I hope not to offend, but I don't always know everything right off the bat.
Oh, no. This is a down payment for possible information in future.
Ah, excellent. In that case, I do have some minor things. Why? Well, you know as well as I do, at this point, Leslie has had many enemies over the years. Most of them gone. Because he is ruthless and he dealt with them quickly. But there are bound to be more enemies around. We know the Anarch are not in total agreement and we have heard news of the Sabbat. But I have, at this point, unfortunately, my dear, no evidence of certain death of Leslie. Only rumours through the rumour mill. But I can indeed pass on any information that I gather in the future.
I would like that information, and perhaps send it to Zane. Maybe. And she's thinking about this. Jackson.
Okay, well, I do potentially meet with the hounds only once in a while, so that is possible.
I'm not very certain on the hounds, so the only one that I feel comfortable honestly in giving the information is Zane.
That is duly noted. And myself, I don't know the hounds too well, but I am getting to know them one by one. They do seem like a rather
Colourful bunch?
Yes, well, I was going to say chaotic, but colourful is also a good word.
Now, this last painting, it's rather precious, and she'll open it up, and it will be The Madonna with Child by Giuseppe Bellini. Now, if you see this painting, there's like lots of Madonna with Child. It's mostly done by this Giuseppe's son, Giovanni. But I thought you might like this one, since it technically does not exist.
Well, you've definitely appealed to the art lover within. This is, once again, another exquisite piece of art. I don't know if I'm going to be able to match its value, but it depends on what you need.
There's a puppeteer, and I can't work out who it is. So I kind of want to know who orchestrated the assassination, and I'm not so certain it is just one puppeteer. And that is what has me going on different paths.
Yes, it has us all asking a lot of questions. The hounds, our friends, are meant to be finding out that information, and they are unfortunately my informants on this question. Currently, I can tell you, the suspects are the Second Inquisition, as you probably know.
Yes.
But we have heard word that the Sabbat's name is there too, and I don't like speculation much, but it is possible the Ministry could be a part of this. The Anarchs and the Thinbloods haven't been addressed as much.
That's something I did want to pass on information to you. Sophia Hall. I'm trying to work out whether she is a puppeteer or being puppeted. They kept looking at her.
Well, this one I can help you with. She is not the puppeteer. She is the face. Someone works above her. But she is the best spokesperson, and the others look to her because they believe she is the head.
Personally, I wanted to slap the bitch, but you know, I don't know.
She's a strong talker, and she does offer me very good, tasteful trades, shall we say, from time to time. But I can't stand her, and she has something I want, which is what our hounds are working on now.
Oh, that would explain what Jackson was talking about that he couldn't tell me. I appreciate your candidacy.
Oh, no problem.
If you find any information out, and this is, like I said, but a down payment, I would appreciate it if it could be sent along my way, that particular information. There's something about leading from the shadows that's always appealed to me, and I want to know who the other shadows are.
Well, Sarah, if I might call you Sarah.
Of course.
what you have brought me here this evening is far too much for the information you ask. So as a down payment, I say, nay, this is the total payment. Give me no more, and I shall feed you everything I have on everything you have asked me this evening, and anything I find in the future. And once you head to Van Diemen's Land, then I will send you some, or I can send it beforehand if you like, some people with pictures, numbers you can check if you'd like to. That internet thing, not my bag really, but you can check out the buildings for yourself and make a choice. Take what you need.
Very much appreciate that, Mr. Van Diemen. It has been quite a fruitful engagement, and it has been lovely to see you again.
I hope to please whenever I meet a client. Now, at this point, I must say, I am rather busy tonight. Is it okay with you if I leave a little early, unless there's anything else pressing you might need?
Oh, no, please. Go on. I appreciate the time that you have given me.
I will have my people pick up these goods from here and right now, if that's all right.
That is completely fine.
You see, out of the, and you have your people around as well, but out of the immense nothingness, multiple Nosferatu, hideous, twisted creatures' faces that really shouldn't be seen in public. They just appear, and they begin to pick up the goods. Van Diemen gives you a bow and says, "It's always a pleasure, Sarah. I hope to see you again, and you will. But let me know if there's anything else you might need, as you have truly, truly paid much in advance."
I appreciate. Thank you very much, Mr. Van Diemen.
And all the cockroaches begin to fall away. His suit dissipates. Everything moves as the cockroaches, like a sea of creatures fitting in sea life, move into the gaps they came from. And in a matter of seconds, he is gone again.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we will now transition to Saturday evening, back to our current time. It's the beginning of a new night. For this scene, however, we will remain at the Sea Life building as previously described. Sarah, you have arranged for another meeting here, as this is a nice meeting place that you like to bring. It's a typical meeting place for Sarah because it's well guarded, one of the places she knows well. I would like you to roll your rouse check for tonight, Sarah, and Isaac, could you please do the same?
Yes.
That's 2 successes. Lovely. No one's beasts are taken over through this meeting. Well, not as yet. Isaac, would you have any other preparations before meeting Sarah?
Actually, yes. The only thing Isaac would like to do is go to one of the places where he knows where his herd is, and would like to feed before the meeting.
And what is your favoured type of feed, Isaac?
Well, I'm on Osiris, so I have pockets of little occult groups throughout the city.
Yes, yes you do. And it's not hard, as you know, where these occult groups hang out. Curios stores, places that sell Halloween goods all year round, things like that. On this particular night in the area you are in the Docklands, there is a store that sells, of all things, magic devices, equipment, fake cards, tricks of all descriptions, swords in the box. And it is here you find the people that you need to feed on. We won't go too deep into this. Is there any rolls you have to make?
Well, I if they know who I am, I'm looking for one that's particular, extra clingy, if you will. And
yes.
then we'll take, doesn't matter whether it's male or female, and I will take them just to the quiet quiet room in the building, and if they are quite happy for me to feed, I will feed my fill.
That is fine. Being one of your used occult group, you have been through this before with them. They agree happily. You don't have to coerce them much, as it always is elation to them when you feed. You will regain, or whatever it is you would normally regain, 1 point or 2 for your character, I'm unsure.
2.
2, right. You'll regain 2 of your hunger, which I believe would put you back at 1.
Correct.
And with that, the beast is sated for now. As you head to meet Sarah. Sarah, you are in the same place as before this time? Still in the tunnels with the sea life?
Yes, this time she will be in jeans, fully clothed, with a cloak, with her leaning up against the rail, with her feet like this, arms crossed in front of her, feet waiting.
Ah. Isaac, you make your way. Her people let you through, expecting you. Are you wearing your usual black suit, top hat attire?
Actually, this time, because everything got singed from the previous night,
Of course.
Isaac would have slightly changed. Instead of black, it would be sort of a brown, but instead of the top hat, it will be more of a sort of the robed hood.
Right, yeah. So, bit more stealth version.
Yes, correct.
Would you, before you got there, would you like to heal any of your wounds?
Yes, I would.
Let's do that. So you're going to try and heal. You only have superficial, so you're good. You can heal a
That's
superficial.
also a pass.
So you heal 1 superficial damage.
Actually, it's 2 because
Is it
of
two?
the
Two
blood
for you?
potency. Yep.
That's right. Good as gold. Thank you for reminding me. I don't recall all these things, but that is nice to see. Some of your wounds stitch back together and patch and heal on your way to this meeting. And I will leave it to you two, as Isaac, you're walking up to Sarah within the tunnels with the fish, the sea life, floating around.
Bonum Vesperum.
But Vesperum, how is my favorite storytale muse? And my goodness, are you a cover model for a romance book now? I didn't realize that you would stoop so low.
Stoop so low? I have no idea what you mean, my dear.
Oh, I'm sure you don't. How are you, Isaac?
Actually, better tonight than when it was a couple nights ago.
Oh, you did what you always do, didn't you?
Boss, I mean, it is what I do.
You went bullheaded into something, didn't you?
No, not at all. Would not do such a thing. I'm good at what I do.
Good at what you do, yes.
Hmm.
Run whole headlong into it, also yes.
Just a bad night.
I told you you're gonna meet final death if you keep that shit up.
What's the fun in that? I mean, you know, you wouldn't have a lot of your acquisitions if it wasn't for my help.
Oh yes, I did offload a couple the other night.
Is that so? I hope it was worth the price.
Hoping it is too, but can't exactly sell them. Information is the price. Yes, that one.
Which reminds me, we're not being bugged, are we?
She pulls out the white noise machine she's got in her pocket. No. You think
That's-
I'm that much of an idiot?
I'm not talking about that kind of bug.
Well, I can't exactly tell that now, can I? You want to do your thing?
If you would like, both of you can roll a wits and awareness to see if you can spot any of said cockroaches, I believe you are referring to.
All right. Here we go. It's
That is a 6 with a crit.
6 with a crit, very nice.
a 1, and I failed on my blood dice, so I get hungrier.
Isaac, you look around. There are no obvious cockroaches at all. You check in the least obvious places as well, seeing absolutely nothing of any bugs, beetles, or any type of insect. Sarah, you see his intentness, the way he looks, the way he searches, and with that roll, getting hungrier, it pisses you off. Why, in this place that you should know better than him, is he so good at just looking at these things? Your beast wells up within you, angers you a little, but you're still only 2 hunger. It's up to you if you act on that.
As I have noticed that you've been dallying with a few interesting characters lately, or so I have been told.
I'm being told.
You
And at
do
this
realize.
point, Isaac is going to activate Sense the Unseen.
Right, sense the unseen. I'll just bring it up here. So, lucky for you, that's nice and free. That's you're giving me a wits or specs. No, you give me a resolve or specs.
That's 4.
4. Good choice. Looking around the area, you are certain with this activated ability there is no one or nothing that is supernaturally hiding in the space. So not only are there no bugs because of the white noise machine, but there are no insects that you can visually see, and through Sense the Unseen, there is no one obscured in this area.
So from further on in this conversation, even though Isaac's checks show him there are nothing, he's still not 100% convinced.
That's
so
fair.
From here on out, the conversation's all going to be in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting choices. Are you here for me to convince William to dabble in your friend's praxis thing?
What I am here to ask you is because I know you kind of have your finger in many pies and know your way around this city better than most people that I know, including myself. What I need to know for various gains, including my own, the Justica Mary Wade.
Ah, yes.
I found her, or at least I have a lead. There's an old ammunition building in Footscray. That's where all the signs point.
Well, that would make sense. I have been doing my own research, as I'm sure you've probably been told. Footscray. There are 4 SI buildings. That was one of them.
What can you tell me is we need to get her out. The longer she stays there, the dangerous it is for the Kindred that a nuclear weapon is in the hands of the SI.
How much do you love me right now, Isaac?
What's it gonna cost?
Actually, no. I want her out as much as you do. She is a friend. I have something I'm setting up. In fact, after this meeting, I have another meeting. You say she's in the ammunitions building, from what you've been led to believe.
I've had 2 very reliable sources of information that points to this building. As to, I mean, it's not conclusive, but it's better than what, as you say, most people have gotten to at this stage.
Right.
And you don't look surprised when I told you that, so I'm guessing that you already knew this.
I knew that was one of the buildings. I knew that was Footscray.
So now I've got 3 reliable sources of information.
Okay. I'm going to give you this one for free since I owe you. I am setting up a sting operation. There's 4 buildings, 4 SI buildings. I didn't know which one it was, so I was going to hit all 4 all at the same time, and 3 others that were not related to the SI. I was getting a human task force, because the SI are primed for Kindred. And when I
Very
mean
smart.
they're primed for Kindred, they've got Mary for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah.
So they are primed. Now, Annie just asked me to keep an ear to the ground, but I don't want to see Mary stuck in that place from everything that I've been told from the visions. She is trying to leave.
I tell you this now, this is number 1 priority for my clan.
Right. And I'll hit the other 6 buildings. You hit that one. I'll have do a timed attack. I'll have my humans go in as I always do. We are under the guise of raiding for human trafficking, as always. It's the best way to keep humans uninformed, and the whole fact that they're tied up, pale, pasty, kind of works that whole thing. I have a 30-minute window to hit every one of those buildings before my contacts will come in and start the whole police raid. I am meeting my mercenaries tonight. They're coming from out of the country, so no link can be linked back to Kindred.
Very good. But if I'm going to this building, I'm going to need to know what I'm up against. Or should I just leave it to your capable hands and you can let me know?
Oh, that's right, you'd want plans.
Oh, what, you expect me just to walk into an SI building with... walking into a deer like headlights? Yes, that's very good for, as you said, bull rushing to final death, wasn't it, you said?
Yes, I think that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Just like Egypt.
We don't talk about Egypt.
Yeah, of course we don't. Look.
Nor do we talk about England.
Oh, shush.
Or Rome.
Berlin was fun.
Berlin was a hell of a lot of fun.
Charles wasn't a big fan of it, though.
Not our problem. We got what we needed. That's what I need. If I'm going back to the ones I need to report to, either they're going to take control, which I'm hoping that they will. Personally, I don't want to be involved. But
Give
if
me
I
a
have
sec.
to, I will.
Give me a sec. Just gonna pull out her phone. I'm gonna show you this because we're freaking paranoid. And she's gonna type John, bring plans to, and she's doing it like this so he can see the ammunitions factory ASAP. A copy. And send. So he can see the whole thing.
Okay. So, Isaac, you see her make that text right in front of you.
Happy?
So can you get through with your white noise device?
You don't need muffled sound. Everything else has already been taken care of.
Okay. So I wait.
While we wait for John to bring the plans, I'll have to introduce him to him. I don't think you've met John. I want to talk a little bit about your new girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
Wow, she's a girl. She's a friend, isn't she?
Does that make you my girlfriend as well?
Look, the days of wanting to have a formal meeting died when I became kindred. I have a question for you about her, or more particularly about you. When did you become interested in the religious type?
You know me. There's something in it for me.
What is in it for you, Isaac?
You know damn well what's in it for me.
Okay. I'll be straight.
I'll be Isaac. Or should I
You'll
be
be
Alan
kicking the
Croft?
nuts if you don't shut the fuck up. So, the whole Sabat thing has been bandied around and all that kind of stuff, and I discovered where their headquarters was before Leslie passed away. I've had people watching, you know, the churches in South Yarra. Now, considering we had the Sabat Arch, whatever they fucking call themselves, visit us the night of, you know, the whole SI raid and Leslie's death, or final death. And she's going to roll her eyes at that because she's still trying to contemplate stuff. I doubled down on kind of, you know, visions of that. But your dear friend, Miss Echo, decided to go see someone in one of these buildings. Now, I wouldn't find that odd because she'd be following a lead, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But she went through a side entrance. And that kind of has me intrigued. There are a lot of players and puppeteers in this whole grand scheme of Leslie's death. And I'm just trying to figure out who they are.
Apparently, that's what the hounds are tasked to do as well.
Well, if the hound, one of the hounds happens to be one of the puppets or puppeteers, wouldn't that negate that? Just a random question for you to think about.
I mean, With that said, my dear, have you got proof other than hearsay? Because, I mean, I could tell you a very tasty little morsel as well. Because no one actually has exact proof that...
Leslie's dead? No, they don't. I haven't found any confirmation either.
Funny that.
It is. Which is why I gave you that information.
Well, let's just say at this particular moment, I have a lead. That I will eventually pursue to confirm. Or not
You're
confirm.
tenacious like that. Anyway, let's get back to the matter that really matters, which at the moment is Mary Royd. I will let you speak with the hounds.
Oh, I can tell you, I'm part of the hounds now.
Can you bark like one too?
Sometimes you're a real bitch, Sarah.
Taught by the best. So, I will actually... You give me a day, and I will orchestrate it. But don't wait too long, because I won't.
Well, how about this? What is your timeline?
I was originally going to do it tomorrow night.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one extra day.
Monday? Alright.
I need to, as I said, I need to report into my superiors. They may take the reins on this one, they may not. However, don't worry, your name will come up if you so wish it to. Or if you rather keep, as you do, anonymous, in the shadows, not heard of, not seen. You tell
Well,
me.
Considering the Camarilla is infested right now, probably best to keep my name out of it.
Okay. And how would you like me to radio this information outside of our usual means?
Don't you have something? You usually do.
I have means, but they're not always necessarily instant. If we're on a short timeline,
Text. Code
Very well.
word. Code word libre, which means book in Latin.
Which is fine. You're speaking in Latin, so he would know.
So I said libre.
okay.
And then put for a time. You give me a time, you make it look like it's a Dewey Decimal System. Sometimes the old way's
that
the
old
best.
one. That's a good one. Yes.
If I remember correctly, you have a librarian in the Hounds now.
He has potential. Untapped
He
potential.
does. Leslie said the same thing. Can understand all that kind of stuff because I'm primed for human. You let me know
Sometime.
when you want my human operatives to come in.
Will do.
If
Sounds
it's
like a
not,
plan.
if I don't get any word by Tuesday, I go in myself.
Deal. However, I'll also let you know if there's a need, or should I say, your operatives are not required because it'll be taken care of internally, then I will let you know.
Oh, I'm still doing the hits of the other buildings.
You do your hits. I'm just saying for the building you've given me.
I wasn't going to touch that until I'd gotten word from you.
And it's done.
So how the hell did you get on the book of a bloody romance novel?
And with that, we can segue in scene. Save Isaac a terrible embarrassment there. Okay, we'll call it a 5-minute break there, guys. Everyone can do their bits and pieces, and we'll be back shortly. Yep. Thank you, Mina, and thank you, Magic.
Yep.
Right, chat, we'll be back in 5 minutes, and we'll be back returning with the rest of the hounds. So make sure everyone's ready. See you soon. And we're back, chat. So, thank you to Mina for reprising her role as Sarah Barnett and doing that first part of the show for us. And now we're going to get into the second half of the show. Turn it back over to Storyteller.
Righto, hounds. This is the beginning of your Saturday evening, roughly around 6. Isaac, you will appear slightly later on, so take a small seat if you wish. The Saturday evening you have woken up to is nice enough. It's cloudy, but it doesn't seem to be any threatening rain. And you will all need to make rouse checks, of course, except for our friend Isaac. Failure for Jax. Jax, you go to 3, is that correct?
Yes, but I'm going to go for a hunt anyway. So,
Did you feel that beast well up within you as you awake? Planning the hunt's a good thing when you know that your hunger is driving up. Anyone else fail? No. Looks good. So the rest of you, living happily. Also, is there any healing anyone would like to be doing before we get into the session?
yeah, Jackson's got one superficial.
Okay, so make a rouse check for superficial, and those of you who are wanting to fix a superficial, make a single rouse check.
That is another failure, so I'm at 4 hunger.
Jack's having a bad night to begin with. You stitch together some of your wounds. You feel the blood surge within you. It pushes the wounds closed. The beast rises up inside, and you are at that point now where it's all or nothing. You need to feed, and that is all you can think about. Echo, how did you go?
I wanted to do an aggravated, so I rolled 3, yeah?
Yes, 3 rouse checks.
And I got 3 successes, so...
Oh, beautiful.
Which is very odd, yeah.
It is very odd.
So it's happened occasionally.
As
So,
you- Sorry,
you
carry on. No, you're good, Zane. You go.
a blank is a fail, yeah?
A blank is a fail, correct.
Cool.
So did you just roll the 1, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still heal that 1 superficial. So that superficial is gone. You now just have 4 aggravated, but you grow hungrier. And Zane, much like Jax, you've pushed your hunger levels to the brink. You're at 4 hunger as the beast within you pushes forward. It just, in your head, is on you. These bags are not doing the trick, man. You need to take something heavier down. Bags just don't work like they used to. Echo, you stitch yourself together quite well for that aggravated repair. I believe you're left with just 2 superficial now.
Hey!
Surging the blood, living well, still at hunger 1. Pip, how did you get on?
Success.
Success, so you should have no damage anymore.
Yep.
Nicely done. So, with that, the hounds, are we all at our own havens, or are we all at the hounds' haven?
Jax would have been in its own haven.
Okay, so we can deal with feeding from there if you want, Jax. Echo, where would you have been?
Probably at my yacht, yeah.
At the yacht, Pip?
Pip's at his house. He collects up his books and then he'll head to the joint haven.
So, and Zane, where were you?
I was at the Joint Haven.
Joint haven, with your nice new, nearly finished setup over a few days. It's that
Yeah, doing a few tweaks here and there, adding more cameras and stuff.
nicely done. So we will work with the feeding first. Zane, how would you like to feed?
Yeah. Open the fridge and grab out a whole bunch of blood bags.
Okay, so taking blood bags doesn't work in the same way you'd expect. If you just take one heal. It's the hunger won't go down quite like that. It's a time-based thing. So you can jam down a blood bag for now and remove one of those hungers, unless your potency says you can take 2. I cannot recall.
Don't think so.
No, it looks like 1. So take 1 now, and then scene by scene, if you can just remind me or try and remember, we'll try and remember to take some more if you wish. With Pip, you're not feeding, so you're good. Echo, you don't want to feed? No, you're at 1. So, Jax, we can follow you on your feeding trip. How are you going about this evening?
I wouldn't even take a car at 4 hunger. I'd just be compulsed to go running.
Right, so
Looking
whereabouts?
for an unsuspecting victim to chase down, basically.
What area are you currently in at this point?
I'm in North Melbourne.
North Melbourne. So, oh yeah, that's good. There's some parks there, not far from you.
In fact, if I remember correctly, my alternate haven is close to one of those parks.
It is, yes. I think you hunted there last time.
Within running distance, so for me anyway.
Excellent. So it's still early in the evening. You know, we're looking at 6 as the sun's sort of just, well, this time of the year, probably even a little later, 7 as the sun's going down. Heading out into the park, you're looking for a victim to chase down?
Stalk, make them feel uneasy, raise their heart rate just to get that adrenaline flowing, and then obviously surprise them at some point.
All right, so first of all, just give me a wits awareness. It's not hard to find people at this time of night strolling through the park, but we'll just see if you find the right type of person.
By the way, this is all blood die.
All blood die. Nice. This could be bad for you.
This could be really bad for me. Pretty sure wits and awareness, yeah, it's all blood die at hunger 4. That's actually not too bad. Except I got 2 successes, but I also got a skull on one of the dice. It's
Okay.
I believe that's not a messy critical. That's a bestial fail, isn't it?
No, it's a bestial fail if you fail the check, but the check is
Okay.
you're only looking for someone who fits the
pretty much
criteria.
anyone.
So you've passed with only 1 needed, thankfully.
I would be probably less worried about being seen at hunger 4 and more worried about feeding, I think, at that point.
Okay, it's not a hassle. Like I said, there's a few people through these parks. Get the odd bum on the park bench, but that's just not your thing. A female and a male jogger together 2 at once could be your choice. Another option is there is a younger man with his like a iPod type scenario going on, corded, which is really dumb for this time, but you know, why isn't he using Spotify on his cell phone? But hey, he's got a corded iPod plugged into his ears and he's just strolling sort of frontage area near some shrubbery, just seems to be hanging out. Your choice of those 3.
Probably go with the iPod dude at this point and just start following him.
All right, I'm going to make a check to see, and you're not trying to be stealthy
I'm
at all?
not trying to be stealthy. In fact, I'm almost intending for him to notice me and to intimidate him. So I'll throw up Daunt as well.
I'm going to throw up Daunt as well. All right. I'll jump to that just to see how we react here. So you have... Daunt up. He has noticed you. Just, you know, you've tailed him for sort of 10 meters, 15 meters, 20. He looks back and sort of gets that feeling, that unease. With Daunt up, he just looks at you in that sort of, I guess, menacing feel that he gets is enough to make him just pick up his pace a little bit. He starts walking a little quicker. You feel in your chest, if your heart could be pumping, you would be able to feel it, but it can't pump it. You feel the blood rise as the beast pushes, urging you to jump this kid. As you can see him now, as you gaining on him, he's probably maybe 18 if he's lucky.
So just having a quick glance around, is there anyone within the vicinity of him and I at the moment?
The joggers have moved off quite into the distance, and the bum asleep on the bench, pretty much you're leaving in the distance behind you. So it looks to be reasonably clear at this point. Of course, you could roll a intelligence awareness if you want to double check.
No. I'd close the gap quickly and just tackle him and tackle him into the bushes off the path.
All right, give me a dexterity athletics.
This is more my thing.
This is your thing. Add an extra 2 dice to your pool because... Oh, and you're using Daunt, sorry, not celerity, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't add those 2 dice just yet.
I could add my presence though, yeah, using Daunt.
You could add your 1 presence.
My whole presence.
Your
So
1.
was it dexterity athletics?
Dexterity athletics. And he's notice you, so he's going to make an opposing roll.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 5 successes.
5 successes beats his no successes. He looks back, and you're gaining on him. You pick up your pace. He starts to pick up his pace. He looks back again. You can hear his heart beating as you jump him. Give me a description on how this is going down.
Basically spare tackle him. Hit him from the side, from the rear slightly as he turns to sort of see where I am. I'm there. I hit him, shoulder tackle him. We probably roll into the brush to the side of the path. Get him sort of out where I think I'm not going to be seen. I'm going to pull my knife, and I'm just going to hold it to his throat and just slowly.
One of the earplugs has popped out of his ear as you do that. You can hear some hip hop or something in there that is terribly awful at this point to you.
Does Jackson in this mode, he'd probably grab the iPod and just crush it in his hand.
The best thing for it. You give him the shush signal and he's just...
And I would open up a vein with my knife and just push his head down into the grass and just open up a vein and drink.
He wants to let out a scream. I would say give me a dexterity, probably your choice. Dexterity athletics, dexterity melee, just to cover his mouth quick because he's going to let out a scream.
Okay. Dexterity, I'd say melee. Or brawl.
Or brawl, either way, you're using your hands, yep.
Both the same. Would you say with this being that I'm generally pretty good with the whole dexterous thing, that I could add celerity with that as well?
You haven't activated any celerity abilities, unfortunately, so probably not.
Still pretty good. 4 successes.
4 successes. Beats his 1. You stifle it. He's like, and you hear that call, and you just stifle that. Your hand big enough to cover his mouth as you've driven the knife enough to draw the blood. Are you going in for the kill? Well, are you going in for the kill, or are you just going in for the feed?
Just the feed at this point.
Okay. As you know, feeding takes 30 seconds to a minute. You drain the blood. Are you draining 1 point or 2 points?
I'm going to go for 3 and hope I can stop, basically.
All right. It takes a little longer for the 3 points. You need to roll your willpower. You're going to need successive 2 to stop.
2 successes.
Just enough.
That was close. It hung on that blank just for a second, then rolled over.
How much willpower do you normally roll?
3.
Oh,
that's all I had.
Tight. You feel as the warm blood coursing into your mouth. You haven't used your fangs to open the wound. The knife's cut enough that it's just flowing across your lips, down your chin. It pumps directly right through your throat. You can feel it coursing down, keeping the beast at bay for the now and reducing you by those 3 points. It takes just about everything you've got to pull back, but you manage to and lick the wound closed.
Is he still conscious?
Unconscious.
Okay. I'm going to pick him up and the iPod and put the iPod back in his pocket.
The broken iPod, yes.
Broken iPod. And I'm going to carry him through the bush, any bush cover there, away from people, and I'm going to carry him about a kilometre or 2 away from where he was attacked, and dump him where I know where he's going to be found. Your
hunger is now at 1, but I will get you to roll. Are you trying to be stealthy about this, carrying a body through the park? Well, not a body, but a person. So I would say give me that stealth dexterity, please. Dexterity stealth.
Dexterity stealth. Luckily,
only your 1 hunger.
This is good for me. That would be a lot. 5.
Well, I can't get that unless I get a crit. So, as far as you're concerned, you've taken this victim, and you've delivered them safely a ways away from where the incident took place. What kind of position have you set him in? Near, just hidden in some brush, or you set him up?
Yeah, I
against
sort
the
of set him
tree,
up so, like, in case he vomits or no, so he doesn't choke on himself. I am going to steal his wallet.
Yep.
Actually, I'll probably steal his iPad too, so make it look like a robbery.
Okay, sweet. So take the iPod, take the wallet. Meager possessions. There's a couple of cards. Looks like he's got the old, some sort of finance card, but multiple of them. He's got a bank card, but it looks pretty worn and used. Doesn't seem to be much cash to his name.
I'm not stealing it to actually steal it. I'm just taking it to make
Sweet.
it look like a
Okay,
robbery.
right.
I'll dump it later on.
So you're not worried about his name or who he is or anything?
I'll take his license if he has one, or any kind of ID.
Yep, there is a license in there, and there is a student ID as well.
Yeah, just as a precaution in case something may come up in the future involving him that may need to be dealt with.
Good as gold. Checking the IDs, you'll spot his name as Charles Spear.
Charles Spear got speared.
Charles Spear got speared. Other than that, nothing to talk about in that wallet. So you're back to the Hounds Haven.
I'll head back to my haven to get my car.
To your haven.
I will send out a group text to my crew, just informing them, firstly, to get information on the recon crew, and also get the guard doubled at the group haven if it hasn't been done already, and have put everyone else on alert.
No problem. Guard doubled at group haven. Echo, we'll jump to you. From the yacht, is it straight to the Hounds Haven?
I will go to the Hounds Haven. I will call. If Sam's driving me, I will talk to him.
Your choice. Sam can drive you if you like.
I will talk to Sam about my proofreader, who I lovingly call Bitchy McQueen. This is a bitch.
Sam says, yes, I know the one.
Yeah. She's been on my back lately, so I thought we'd arrange maybe a world tour. Maybe she can take two besties and make sure she's happy, taken care of, off my back. I need some time to get stuff done.
Okay, I can have that done. When would you like me to do that?
As soon as possible, if you can, on me.
I can do that as well. To the group haven tonight, is it, ma'am?
Yes. And, I'd like to talk about Peggy as well.
Yes.
I'd like for you to make some funeral arrangements for her.
But I wasn't aware she was passed.
Yeah. Sadly, she will be. I mean, she is. Sadly, she is. And an obituary, and let me know where she will be buried.
Okay, Masiko, no problem there. I can organise that over the next, well, what's today? Yeah, probably come Monday for the funeral arrangements. There'll be nothing open at this point, I guess. Also, did you know that Synergy had released a new album?
Speaking of bitches, yeah?
Yes, just got wind of it through the, the right, well, Spotify account always reminds you when something new comes up. You probably don't know because your phone would get, but yeah.
Yeah, your old boss. You want me to get you a signed copy?
No, I just hadn't heard anything from her in quite some time. I thought it was nice, and then that popped up. It was just a reminder of days past.
I mean, you didn't just say the word.
She's not that much of a bitch, but nonetheless, I have thought about it.
Well, have you ever thought of being something more than a ghoul someday?
Do you think I should be a pop star?
No, Sam. You're so pretty. No, I'm thinking maybe a kindred, if everything goes well.
I don't want to offend Maseko, but every time, it seems nearly every second day, every time I see you, there is some trouble, some political agenda, someone trying to kill someone. I feel a little in danger just as I am. I think I shall leave that for now.
You know, I mean, you could live a quiet life.
Oh, do you know one of your type, a kindred who lives a quiet life? Tell me. And he's driving, but he pulls up his cell phone and he opens Notepad and says, "Tell me, who is this wondrous person?"
Pip just enjoys his roaches and his books.
He throws the phone into the back seat and he laughs. He says, "I thought so."
Okay, touche. All right. We'll drive in silence.
I wasn't trying to offend Miss Monroe. It's just rather busy, the life you and the hounds and every other kindred seems to lead.
You're never bored. There you go.
I shall think on it.
All right. And I'm going to text Zane if... are you at the Haven?
Yeah, Zane said he was, yep.
I'm just texting, are you at the Haven to Zane? That's all I'm going to do.
Oh, you text that to him? Right, yep. Zane, do you reply?
I reply with yes, no, maybe. Absolutely, I am. Hang on, was I?
I text, I like to talk to you when you have some time. Smiley face, smiley face.
Cool emoji, cool emoji.
And that's all I do.
Sweet. Right, so, Pip, you were heading over to the Hound's Haven as well. Is there anything you'd like to do on the way?
So, while Pip is still at home, he has the box set of the Sopranos DVDs, and he tips them on the floor, and he scoops all the ashes into the box and puts the lid back on. And then he goes around to his house, and everywhere in his house has books. So you open the microwave, there's books. He's emptied the toilet, there's books in the cistern. So he goes around his house and collects various books. He's got a list of books he wants to bring with him. And then he packs all that into his bag. And just before he leaves, he's doing, that trick they do with the coin where they flick it through their fingers? He's doing that with the two roaches on either hand, trying to get them to do tricks.
Give me a dexterity. Jesus, what would that be? Give me a dexterity athletics or whatever you feel might suit that. Try to juggle these roaches through your fingers.
This is how the roaches die. Maybe performance? Which isn't much better.
I'll say dexterity performance, yep. That's good.
2 successes. Out of 3 dice.
No hunger gained. So, you're giving it a go, and that's about all that's happening. You're giving it a go. Those roaches don't seem to want to stay or do that. They're not immovable objects. They're not a single solitary coin that's just going to rock over and roll as you see fit. As you try to roll one, it sort of just crawls up your knuckle. When you try to roll the next one, it crawls up the finger and on the underside of your hand, and they're not really playing the game.
We'll practice. It'll be fine. And he sort of slides them down into his bag. It's like one of those messenger bags with all the pockets and stuff.
Good as gold. I will say that the roaches have not at any stage looked like they want to up and go. They just continuously hang out with Pip.
Yep, and then I'll head to the Haven.
All right. Now, Zane's already at the Haven. Isaac, you'll be a little ways behind, not too far, I imagine, after your meeting. So, everyone who's headed to the Haven, I would say we'll fast forward to that now. Everyone there, bar Isaac at this point. Feel free to chat as you wish.
I'll be in the tech room.
Miss Monroe,
Mr. Pip.
you were in a rush the other day, and I forgot to give you these ashes that might not even be the prince now.
Hmm?
But you wanted them, right?
Why would they not be the prince? Who else have you burnt? Jesus, Pip.
Nobody lately. Don't think.
I slowly take the ashes, but I don't break eye contact with Pip as I.
You'll find that Dr. Graves might have a more clear explanation to that.
And Pip darts in his bag and grabs a book. He likes it when you read to him. I think.
I'll just take the book slowly as well to appease Pip.
No problem.
And the book is titled Earl Grey, A History of Teabagging by D. Mortimer.
Oh, someone give that guy a bloody. What the hell is the equivalent of Dean's inspiration? You get one extra black dice on your next dice pool, whatever the hell it is.
Holy crap.
It was great. Great character.
Damn.
I feel like the prince would actually really love this. Thank you, Pip. Not the teabagging, but the book, yes.
And at this point, Jackson sort of just turn and walk away and be calling out for Zane.
Right, Zane. I did not mean to skip you before. It was intentional. It was like I didn't mean to skip you, but it wasn't like it was an accident. Anyhow, you had previously been tracking your assistant's phone on the computer. Yep. You left the tracking system running. As Echo and Pip are having their chat, the phone blinks off. You get no more tracking from it. It's no longer pinging, basically. It could be off, jammed, or broken.
Last location?
Last location was at your old building, 20A Centre Place, Melbourne. It stayed there for quite some time because they were there on the Friday night. The phone ping did not leave that building till right now, and whether it left or not, you don't know. It just stopped pinging.
So with that information, Zane starts fidgeting incessantly, not being able to sit down and do much. He's just gonna start fidgeting, pacing, fixing, changing, all sorts of wonderful things.
Good. And the rest of you would all notice that the computer room that Jackson has been sorting out for Zane, the workers have been, for the last 3 nights, I believe, and days, totally in it. It is pretty much a small slather of paint to be finished. That's about it. They've just done the last touches. The last of the fittings have been wired back to the wall. There's a couple of dudes in there at the moment just doing a bit of paint work on the back side of the room, there's drop cloths away from the computer. Zane, your area is pretty clean and clear for you to potter in as you are doing so.
By this thing, Jackson sort of poked his head in the door. Zane.
Not now, busy.
We've got more pressing things. Ammunition factory, Footscray.
Yeah, what about it?
Address, schematics, sewer entrances, the works. We need to find Mary Wade, and soon.
Yeah, I'll get onto it.
Make it your priority, please.
Isaac, this is your moment where you walk in after having your meeting. If there's nothing else you'd like to do in between.
Well, on his way, he would have responded to Echo's text message that she sent the previous night.
Oh, nice. What was your reply?
Simply, I'm on my way to the Haven. See you soon. He's going to make his second rouse check to heal the remaining superficial damage.
Very good. Make that check.
He fails, so he gets to hunger 2.
The beast rises within as you do knit together some of that remaining, or all of that remaining damage.
Just
feel
to
much better.
confirm, storyteller, at the end of the meeting with Sarah, did I get that information from John?
John, let me see here. Is this information you sent me or information that...
This
from,
was
from Sarah's John, sorry.
from the
yes.
meeting with Sarah. We were waiting on, you know, building schematics
Yes.
and such.
Yes, sorry, yes, you did get it, yep.
Okay.
I forget John's her contact, not yours. I was thinking, I don't have any contacts you good, John, so excuse me for that. No, yes, John has got the information to you.
All right. So Isaac is just literally walks into the building, or you know, past the security and such, and walks in, and just looks around and goes, so do we need a powwow or something? Is this how it works?
It's Dr. Graves, extra crispy. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking.
And
How are you?
Pip looking over at him, you can see he's healed. He doesn't seem to have any of the singe marks or burns you saw of the previous evening.
Why do you have different clothes on?
I mean, you're Toreador, and you're asking me this question.
There was an incident. I had something for that. I don't know if you know this, and is Zane's in a different room?
Yes.
But Mr. Vieira, he's really good at tech stuff, but he's also really good at dismemberment. And I felt like if we'd like maybe cut something off like a finger or maybe a toe and we thrown it through the ward, like you probably wouldn't have had to go, and you know, he's good at it. No?
Oh.
Next time.
Oh, look, yeah, just, you know.
He's multifaceted. Yeah.
Anyway, I've got some information that would be prudent to one of the things that, well, at least I believe that you guys were tasked to handle or to look into.
Yeah, what? You sound like you had a night, so go ahead.
I'd say probably at this point Jackson would walk back in too.
And he's gonna kind of look around for bugs.
Yep, so anyone, I guess the rest of you, probably it's up to you, but anyone who wants to look for bugs, give me that wits awareness, the usual wits awareness, unless you're using Sense the Unseen. If you're using Sense the Unseen, we'll resolve that separately.
I think Jackson at this point is resigned to the fact that there's always someone watching.
Yeah.
It's only one on the wits awareness.
So you don't see any bugs, insects of any type in the room.
While he doesn't see it, he's still not comfortable with the idea.
That's fair. So if you're going to use Sense the Unseen, that's fine. Just give me that resolve and all speaks again, thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else searching?
I got 4 successes and a red skull. So is that a crit success or is that a...
If it's a red skull or if it's a failure, that would be a bestial failure. However, 4 successes is more than enough.
5 on the...
5 on the
Sense the Unseen.
Okay, so Echo, you spot cockroaches. Pips, little friends hanging out in his jacket pocket. Make their little feeler heads noticed every once in a while. They every now and then crawl over his jacket and then back into his little pocket.
Pip has 2 pets, if that's what you're looking for.
I think we can safely assume that a certain friend is always watching.
Yeah, so since the unseen, within the building, there are multiple cockroaches, and they are using a very similar, what's the word for it? I'm looking for? Not a spell, but a ability, that's the word. They're using a very similar ability to what Nosferatu and some of you Malkavians can, and they are cloaking themselves. So there's a few cockroaches around, yes. Not just the ones in Pip's pocket, but only cockroaches, no kindred, no people, to be exact.
Well, for the benefit of the coterie and Van Diemen, I had a meeting not long ago based on that lead that we had with Footscray. It appears my contact already had their eyes on the building and a couple more. However, and he will pull out all the whatever was handed. I'm assuming it also was handed over to Isaac, the information from Sarah and John.
Yep. So you'll have anything she had. So the 4 buildings, their names, their addresses, building layouts and schematics for the most part.
All right, so he will look for the one specifically for the building, the ammunition building, and we'll pull out that schematic.
No worries.
And lay it out on the floor and say, if we're going to go in, here's some, at least as much information as I was able to get.
So she's given you the building schematics. It's a large factory. It's got 2 main levels on the floor. It's like a first level and then a mezzanine floor style. It also has a level beneath that is, at the time at least that these schematics were made, it is like a basement level. She hasn't given you any further schematics than that. That's what she's been able to dig up.
Going over the schematics, does it show any sewer access, like runoff or anything like that for the building, or is it just a real basic schematic? Roughly how old are the schematic?
It's probably the originals she's dug up. She's done a pretty good job at getting the building's original schematics for when it was first built. It does show you skylights from the roof, and there are a couple of accesses to the cellar area, but that's a bit, you don't see any sewer or anything like that. I think that's what you've asked saying for anyhow.
So so with that being that these are sort of originals, there's probably a good chance that whatever has been updated since, then Isaac's kind of along the same path as Jackson is thinking maybe there's something in modern day schematics that this one would show a better vantage point or an entry point.
So you would know with your discussions with Sarah and any information she gave you that once the SI purchase buildings, there is no more schematics. You would have to dig very deep for that. The SI keep their things very close to their chest, the FBI in general, or the CIA, or any of those sort of companies, ASIS in Australia. The schematics you've got, it's good to have the originals. It would be nice to have others, but everything Sarah has dug up is pretty much everything you can get without using some super expert like Zane on your team.
So with that, Jackson will excuse himself. Excuse me, I'm going to see what extra Zane can dig up, and I've got a contact that may or may not be able to help us on this. Give me a few minutes, and I'll excuse myself and head back towards Zane.
Were we supposed to get her or let the sheriff know where she was? I'm just saying this to anybody in the room.
I don't know what you were tasked to do.
Jackson, I'm gonna follow
What?
Jackson in where Zane is.
Well,
I'm gonna
I've got my own priorities with this as well. This is my clan's number one priority too. So I will need to report to my superiors as well on this particular matter. So
You do what you need to do. I think from memory, we were tasked to get as much information as we can and report back to the sheriff. Because if this is an SI stronghold, the 5 of us ain't going to be breaching it anytime soon.
oh, there's hell of no way that I'll be going in there without sufficient backup.
Agreed. So
Now,
information
I
is
will-
key here.
I will warn you, what I have been told is that I have until Monday night to let my informant know of our decision, or they will do what they need to do themselves.
Now, this informant, are they Ivory Tower or without?
Their ivory tower.
All I need to know. Zane, have you got those plans?
Well, yes, no, maybe. Okay. Some of it, maybe.
What have you got? Give us whatever you have.
Sewer entrances to buildings, but the small roaches may be able to get in. There is a cellar. Do we know anyone that can dig?
I mean, what plans are these? And would have taken the plans with me. So are these the plans that you have? And show them the original.
So he's pulled up the original and he's pulled up the sewer. But Zane, give me. This is your up your alley now. So this will be a intelligence and your choice: technology or investigation or academics. It's up to you.
Tech and intelligence, I'll take.
I figured it'd be tech. Tech intelligence.
I got all the dice, okay.
That's fine.
Six
successes. Yeah, so not only has he got the sewers, he's got all the power, all the phone, gas, the telecoms and everything in and out, satellites. He has 2 copies. He has the old copy that Sarah has provided, but he's managed to dig up off his quick research a newer version, something that maybe the SI forgot to strike. It's got a lot of black lines over it, a lot of hidden spaces, but there's been extra additions to the basement area. So what Sarah has with a couple of doors to the basement or the cellar, Zane's shows a few extras.
So potentially another sub-level or 2.
Potentially, at least 1 sub-level according to Zane's. There is sewer lines, as Zane's said, but they are quite small. Be lucky to fit a small person, very small person like a dwarf would be lucky to squeeze through there.
But that's more than we had on the original plan, so that's something. That gives us something, more information. I'm going to make a quick phone call and see if I can get more. And I'll step out of the room and place a phone call to my contact within the Melbourne Police, Mr. Samuel Fisher.
All right. You're going to ring him now?
I'm going to call him, yes.
Okay, so you stepped out of the room, you said?
Yeah. I'm not worried if anyone's listening. I just it's a habit just to step out of the room, make the phone call.
He answers in the usual way. He's like, Fisher here.
Mr. Fisher. Jackson Spencer here.
Ah, yes. I should have known. I have a code for you on my caller ID. I just didn't look. I'm busy. What's up?
Information is what's up. This is more sensitive than the usual cover-up stuff I get you to do for us. You have some new talent in town.
you hear click, 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 click over the line, and he says, "Hold on, I just put the anti-tracer on." Right, carry on.
You have, as I said, new talent in town that I need information on. I need information on a particular building, number of men, how well armed they are, weaponry, usual stuff.
All right. Friends in town. You're talking about Asus.
They will be probably posing as Asus.
Which building might this be?
Ammunitions factory. Old. What's great?
You can hear him scrawling down on a notepad.
I'll give him the address because Van Diemen gave me the address. So.
Yep, good as gold. He makes the notes. He says, "All right."
There's three other buildings surrounding that as well. If you can get information about that, that would be just as handy. But that building in particular.
Interesting. Not the first person to ask about these buildings.
Interesting. And who else has been inquiring?
Oh, I have another of your type that I feed information to. I cannot give that out, but just so you know, you're not the first person to be asking. This must be important.
Oh, it's extremely important. And I hoped this other person is on the same side as me, because if it's not, you and me have a problem.
I only deal with your side, Mr. Spencer, as you know.
Certainly hope so, for your sake.
I know how this works, hence the anti-tracking and the pen writing. I also don't happen to be in my office, which is really good for me at this point in time.
Indeed. Number one priority, Sam.
Number one priority it is. I will get back to you shortly.
Thank you very much. I'll hang up.
Okay. You hear the click on his end.
And head back into the room.
So Pip got bored of this conversation like super early.
Yep,
As soon as Isaac, so I like start wandering around the building, and I start barking in corners. I'm like, has anyone seen Mr. Tomic?
No one has seen Aaron at all since the race.
Did he not come back from that freaking thing that he did with his motorcycle club? I mean, that was like last night, wasn't it? Has anyone heard from him? I mean, I haven't heard from him. Not that I would, but...
If you're lucky, wait 50 years. You might get an answer.
All right. Yeah.
I would say, without our Mr. City care to interpose, he would probably have sent a text letting you know he had a good hand and won a bit of money. He wouldn't have put details in, that's not his character, but he had a good hand, won a bit of money. That's all you've heard from him. Those of you who receive his texts.
In that case, we probably won't see him for a while.
So with that information that I dug up, I'm going to head out rather quickly.
Zane?
Yes,
you
what?
going?
Got something to do.
Zane,
Next
I wanted to talk to you.
You need a
Zane.
hand, Zane. We can help. Remember, you are part of this coterie.
I'm going with him. I say out loud. I'm going to talk to you in the car, or I'm going to talk to you here, but we're going to have a talk.
In car, we can go.
All right, let's go.
We're going on an adventure, and Pip will run after him too.
Jax will sigh heavily. Look at Isaac and sort of go. Do you want to go with them? We could do some more research here. I mean, I'm not sure what. I mean, you've got more things, different things than I can do, but. I mean, do you want to go back to the graveyard?
I mean, this is not at the moment.
I can get those wards removed.
It's not the wards that worry me. It's what I found concerns me.
And what exactly did you find?
You know as well as I do that the wards are designed to stop, or at least deter, things from entering or exiting wherever they are set.
Yes.
With the amount of warding that I saw, there is no way
Excuse me.
this particular individual would have passed through.
Unless those wards were set after they passed through.
Well, that is the predicament because I only saw one set of footprints.
There are many of our kind that do not leave footprints or have the ability to erase said footprints.
That would have been seen, my friend.
Indeed.
It's concerning.
It is, because that particular tunnel, I know where most of the wards, there's probably a few that may have been added since I was there. The physical traps, however, I know exactly where they are and how to remove them.
That particular warding circle, Jackson, wasn't there when you were shown. No.
So that would, I mean, that could have been said at any time, because it's been probably, almost a week since he was there with setting the extra booby traps and the extra warding with the keeper, so.
Correct, yeah.
So obviously, extra wards have been added in the time since I was there.
Yes, but this has all happened in the last 24 hours.
Not many people know of those tunnels.
Oh, I have no doubt that's... You wouldn't want people running through.
So that leaves a handful of people that would even know of its existence. And maybe one or two that would actually be able to ward it. The keeper being one.
And hence my quandary.
So
What are they protecting?
we can go talk to the sheriff. He would have an idea. He was probably the closest person to Leslie at the time. And other members of the coterie.
With that, we'll leave you two there for a moment with Echo, Pip and Zane heading to their vehicle.
As we're walking to the vehicle, I'm going to hold up my phone and say, Zane, can you just... I got a message from someone about you last night.
Okay, what did I do this time?
They're
Wasn't me,
wanting
it was
to get
somebody
in
else.
contact with you.
What's the name?
Are you in trouble, Zane?
Don't think so.
I can help you.
It's probably that Jono fella. Remember Jono?
Yeah, that's that thing, it.
I call
Why?
shotgun, by the way.
Why it?
Well, he tried... Hang on. Did he try calling me that way? Or was it that way? He got in contact with me through my ex-assistant.
Your ex-assistant?
Or my
You love-
assistant, my ex...
I thought you loved her.
What?
You and I have worked together for years, Zane. I can tell your expressions. Why-
Okay. Phone's gone dead at old place. Need to go investigate.
Why don't you just talk to him? I'll go with you. Pip will go with you. We got your back. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Find out what he wants.
I don't want to.
Why?
I don't know.
You're in a coterie now. We take care of each other.
But we check the assistant first. Awesome.
What do you think, Pip?
Pip's
says
already in the
yes.
car. He's like waving at you through the front window.
I will get in the back because I'm assuming that Zane's going to drive. God help us all.
Zane, are you driving?
Uh-huh.
Righto. We know where you're headed. It's not too far. Well, it's a little drive. Get in the car and give us that dexterity drive roll then.
Oh, boy. Yep, okay.
Well,
Dex.
it actually depends on how you're driving. If you're in a hurry and you want to get there quick as, then it's dexterity drive. If you're just going to be casual, I mean, you know how to drive, right?
Yeah, I'll be casual because, yeah, I don't have anything in driving.
Right. So yeah, you're not doing anything crazy. So I'm not going to make you. You know, it's only if you're doing something out of the blue. There's something that you wouldn't normally do. So just driving normally to where you're going is fine. So it takes 10, 15 minutes to get from where you are to where you want to be, or at least near there. The shop itself is black, no lights on, which is not normal because usually you're an all-night business, but you know that she said she was going to be changing the business. However, when you looked it up, didn't seem like she was doing anything of the sort. Whether she was just making the call to make you worried you should come back, who knows? But it is all closed, locked up and dark.
I activate Sense the Unseen.
Give me that. Now, I just had it open before. Zane. Sense the Unseen. Give me that Resolve and Auspex roll, please.
Yep, that's gotta go well.
What's your blood potency, Trashy?
How do I work that one out?
It's on the sheet.
Yeah, 1.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter then.
Blank, skull, success.
That's not. So the skull on the red dice is not the best, but
It's all red dice.
it's
Oh,
it's all red
wow.
dice. Yes, it is 4 hunger. I forgot about that.
Damn.
Three hunger.
You are 3 hunger, so
But
Now,
still,
any-
it's all dice.
at any stage there, you also could have had another blood bag too. So you may. I will let you get away with going down to 2 hunger.
Okay, thank you.
However, it's not a major because since the Unseen activated, doesn't seem to be anything outside the shop or inside the shop that you can see at this point. But once again, it is dark in the shop, but you have enough minor vision to see, the place. And since the Unseen isn't giving you anything, you did not fail the check, so that is fine.
Where are we, Mr. Vieira?
Oh, you haven't been here, have you?
No.
This was my place.
Oh, we're getting all up in your business.
I mean, it
It
still
looks
looks.
seedy and sticky.
Well, that's sane for you. But it still looks like your place. So,
So yeah, I go in, seeing I know where everything is. I'll
Did
turn
you keep the set of keys, Zane? You didn't say you
Probably.
returned any, so it's up to you.
Yeah, I would have hung on to the keys. I would have just left the note. I mean, I got to check up on her every now and then, don't I?
That's fair. She hasn't changed the locks. The locks are the same. However you locked it before is however it opens now. You get inside the building. Nothing has changed. She has sold nothing. She has moved nothing. Everything is the same. It even looks like it's been business as normal up until now. The computers have all been used. Nothing is. You have the sort of mind where you know where things are meant to be and how it is. She's altered a few things, moved a few things around, but it seems to be the place was used. There's trash in the bins that's fresh. There's a coffee cup where her desk is. It's not warm, but you can see there's the half-drunk coffee sitting there, and it's not mouldy on top. So the building's been used frequently enough.
I call the phone.
Silence. Get that tone and the voice that goes, "Your call cannot be transmitted right now." Something to that effect.
So what are we doing here, Zane?
She's not here. She's not here. She's not here. She's not here.
Do you want to get her back? Let's talk to the guy.
Okay.
We can have him meet here.
That's a good idea. I know this place.
All right. We'll be safe here. Go, I don't know, freshen up. I'm going to make a call back to, I'm going to text my sire that Zane wants to talk to whoever's bugging him.
Okay. The text comes back pretty quick. Your sire says, "You know very well who that is. And if he wants to talk, you know where to find us."
All right. I'm going to go back inside. Zane, you ready?
They coming here?
No, but I'm gonna get your friend back for you.
Okay.
At this point, Pip's gonna ring Vance.
It's funny you should mention that, Pip. Because you pick up your phone to ring Vance. And your head rings as if you're about to get a migraine. I'm going to get you to roll a wits and awareness, but add 2 die for Auspex for me, please. Eco and Zane, you're conversing as normal. Pip doesn't seem any different. He just seems to be staring into space while this happens.
6 successes.
Nicely done. You feel something push into your mind. It's not your power and you know it. Something's being pushed into you deliberately. It seems like you're looking out of someone else's eyes now, like a first-person perspective in a computer game. The eyes look forward, and they are looking at an evening silhouette coming into view, the University of Monash in Caulfield. A place you know well, I believe. It's lit up reasonably brightly by the localized lighting. And a woman walks 10 or so meters ahead of this vision you're looking through. Can you give me another roll, a resolve and awareness, please?
Two successes.
Just enough. The woman in front of you, you suddenly recognize as Samantha Vance. Someone who you call a friend, though you did hang up on her last night. The eyes that you are looking through watch the woman in front of the open library. She strolls, opens the doors, and goes through. And as the doors swing back, you catch a glimpse of a reflection in the glass, and I'll need another roll, a wits and awareness from you, please. You only need 1 success for this one.
2.
2. The reflection's quick, but you know it straight away as the hand reaches forward that you're looking out of the eyes of, pulls the door open, and in the reflection you see that crazy curly 80s red hair, glamorous white outfit, The hair's done actually quite nicely, but she is well overdressed for the library. You recognise her straight away, of course, as Louisa Ashton, someone who you probably didn't expect to see nor wanted to see out of the eyes of. She advances on Samantha, and you see, looking out once again, her eyes, a hand forward in a gesture of a handshake. As Vance turns around, you can hear the two giving their introductions. It's kind of muffled, but you can hear, oh, hi, I'm Louisa. Oh, I'm Vance. And they have a few exchanges, but as you try to listen in, your mind is pushed back to normality. And that is where we will call our Blood and Belief episode tonight. We'll carry on. It's only been a couple of hours. You probably guys are looking at maybe 8:30, 9 at the latest. But thank you, everyone. We shall continue this next Sunday for our final episode in the season.
Indeed. So thank you, players. Once again, thank you to Mina for joining us this evening as Sarah Barnett, reprising that role for us in the start of the show. As per usual, we'll go around and get some moments from everyone tonight. Chat, if you have some moments at Evldoa in the chat, we will read them out. But yes, next Sunday night will be the Season 2 finale of Vampires of Melbourne, Blood and Belief. From there, we'll be starting Campaign 2, Paradigm 2, Shadow's Embrace in the coming weeks. And at some point in the future, we will be pausing that and coming back and doing a Season 3 of Vampires of Melbourne. So keep an eye on the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join !Discord in the chat. Same with the YouTube. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, it all goes up on YouTube. So subscribe over there as well. So we'll hand off to Storyteller to go around the panel. We'll get some moments.
Sweet. We'll bring back Mina too if she's there, eh?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Sweet. Yep. So we will start with, let's start with, I don't even know, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, Zane.
The first part now between Mina and Magic, that was fun. Enjoyed that. Just the conversation. I know something you don't know, and yeah.
Good as gold. Oh, we'll jump over to Isaac.
Yeah, going back on to Sarah and Van Diemen, particularly the storyteller sniffing out the crates and just saying, oh, this is definitely something that I would be interested in. I thought that was kind of, it shows Van Diemen how he's into, exactly what he's after kind of thing. He's already figured that there's something important in there, and it's just he could just tell by the aura of what was in those crates. I thought that was pretty cool. And I will have to also say, echo talking about Peggy. Sadly, she will be. I mean, she is in reference to Peggy being dead.
Nice. Thanks,
Hang
Magic.
on, what? You're a Malky now? What?
We'll go Jackson.
Yeah, pretty much. For me, I think it's Pip again tonight. The book. I mean, come on. the book, Earl Grey teabagging from D. Mortem. I mean, that was just. I think that broke everybody. Everyone broke character on that. Yeah. That was great. Typical Pip quips have always amused me throughout this entire chronicle so far. Nice. And again, just to commend Trashy on his roleplay. Your roleplay is improving every single session, D&D and BTM. And just want to point that out that, dude, you're just doing so well. Just
That's
keeping
awesome.
things rolling, sticking with your character, and doing exceptional with your RP. So
Nice. Mina.
I had obviously the book thing that made me crack up. I also liked Trashy's facial reaction about the driving. It was like this. I can't describe it. It's like his face just kind of went, like, that whole whoops. And Yeah, there were just like lots of little pockets going through, but I really appreciated the whole Van Diemen thing, and that whole interaction and the way he responded. So, and to let everyone know, those are real paintings that have gone missing, and that no one's found yet. And I made
Yes.
sure to research to make sure what one was actually still missing.
Yeah, good background work there, Sarah. Thanks, Mina. Echo.
Everyone's pretty much said, oh, I love Trashy's roleplay. Everyone's roleplay is always so good. And of course, Pip waving from the shotgun seats like a kid and barking in the corners for Aaron. That was adorable. That's me.
And Pip, have I missed anyone else? Just Pip?
Maybe just Pip,
So I had a couple. Editor Bitchy McQueen.
yeah.
The back and forth between Sarah and Isaac was really good. Charles Spear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Didn't
Echo
expect
saying, "Who else have you burned?"
Just so you on that mention, it was Charles Pear,
Oh,
but
Came out as
no.
Charles Spear.
No, it came out because you said you wanted to spear him, and I thought, oh, it's just funnier to make it spear. So
100%.
yeah,
And JJ pipes up, Pip trying to play with his roaches.
yeah, always the way.
Always playing with roaches.
Look, I had Echo with saying to Pip, "Why aren't the ashes the prince?" and "Who else have you burnt?" sort of thing. I had Sarah with, "How much do you love me?" to Isaac, and Isaac saying, "Well, what's it going to cost?" And Pip putting the ashes into Soprano DVD case, I thought was a nice touch as well. So.
Kind of fitting, really, when you think about it. But yes, I think that is it for us for another Sunday, guys. So as I said, next Sunday night will be the finale of season 2. Wednesday night we'll be back here for Curse of Strahd, the continuance of that, where Adok appears to be dragging off Skaith's unconscious body somewhere, do nasty things with it, apparently. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will be back here tomorrow night, however, doing some map making. I haven't done any map making for a while, but for this mini adventure, I've decided to do some maps for that. You won't know what maps are what because I'm not actually labeling them for what they are, so I'm going to be doing probably a couple of them leading up to the mini adventure. So those that do end up playing in it, you may recognize the map once you get into it, but you won't really know exactly what's what until we get into it, obviously. So the vote's still open. I'm going to keep the voting open in the poll. So if you haven't voted on the mini adventures by title yet, jump in the Discord, jump to the poll section and vote on that. Again, just one vote per person, please, just to try and so I can get an accurate sort of number. And once that's selected, after Roasted Chickens mini adventure, we'll be calling for players, and the more the merrier. So don't feel that if you've played a lot that you can't put your hand up for this. I want everyone who is interested to put their hand up, and we'll pick random people, just like we did for the previous one. So again, the more the merrier. So with that, we're going to say good night to everybody. Once again, have a good Sunday. We're going to see you guys tomorrow night for some map making, and then Wednesday for Curse of Strahd. Make sure you join Yanti on Friday doing her D&D stuff, and then back here Sunday for the season 2 finale. We're going to raid Stormy Dragon Tavern. They're doing some D&D. They'll be running for about an hour. Drop them a follow if you haven't already. Hang out with them for a little bit if you can. If you can't, just at least hit them up with a follow. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.